60% of seniors are struggling and living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of them are struggling to afford rent, food, transportation, and prescription drugs. And each week there are promises of help from Congress, but nothing ever happens. You've probably seen a lot of videos out there talking about Social Security increases that are supposed to be coming, but never come. You've heard about stimulus checks that were promised that never made it. So we're in 2025. What are the realistic bills that can pass that can help seniors? What changes can Congress make and the president get behind to really bring relief, meaningful relief to seniors? That is what I'm going to cover today in our live to talk about the 7 proposals that the president and Congress can get behind right now to increase Social Security benefit and fix Social Security for the future. And not only that, I'll take it even further. I'm going to talk about 10 things that the president can do to help seniors, put more money in the pocket of seniors, give them financial relief in 10 different areas. So stay till the end of this because I have done the research and I want to make sure that you get this critical information and share with anyone you know that also needs this. So my name is Kwame Kwade. I am a personal finance and government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. And I want to make sure that if you're new here, you understand that all we do is bring you the latest news and update, anything in and out of Congress that could help with your Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and more. So subscribe to our channel, hit the like button. And before I get started with all of this, I want to know where you're watching this broadcast from. Go into the comments, do me a favor, let me know your city and your state. So let's dive in. Today, there are 2 things I want to talk about. I want to talk about what can be done legislatively from Congress that the president can get behind. And then I'm going to talk about 10 other things that the president can do in his authority to help seniors this year, not tomorrow, not next year, this year and now. So the first thing is the Social Security Expansion Act. This is something that will make the biggest difference in the lives of seniors, and is by giving seniors a $200 Social Security increase, which will be an extra $2,400 a year. Why is this important? Well, the proposal is projected to lift 26% of seniors out of poverty, because right now, a lot of seniors are living below the poverty line, making $17,500 a year. And all of this will be paid for by one simple rule change that Congress was way overdue making anyway. It's by removing the Social Security tax cap. Currently, if you make $176,100, you pay Social Security taxes on that. If you make anything more than that, you don't. Well, this idea is to lift that to $250,000, so that if you make more than $250,000, you pay Social Security taxes on that earning. So if you make $1 million, $1 billion, whatever you make above 250, you pay Social Security taxes on all. That will be enough money to fund a $200 increase in Social Security benefits for all seniors, including disability beneficiaries, plus extend the lifespan of Social Security for 75 years. The next proposal is to help seniors that are struggling at the bottom of the Social Security income scale. If you're getting the bare minimum, this is supposed to give you an extra $500 a month. That is $6,000 a year. And it equates to 125% of the federal poverty level. So it's not a gigantic shift, but it's a meaningful shift, which will cause people receiving the lowest Social Security benefit to get at least $1,518 a month. This will be a big change for millions of seniors who have been struggling to live off minimum Social Security benefits because they did not pay enough into the system to get the average check, because they worked in low-wage jobs and made less money. And basically, that is how the system is designed. This is supposed to change that to make sure that no senior on Social Security lives below 125% of the federal poverty level. So essentially, they're trying to bring seniors to just 25% better than poverty. So it's not a big ask, but it's going to make a big difference in the life of a lot of seniors. And this is going to be very helpful to them. So that is the next change. The third one, which the president himself promised, is the tax credit. Remember, President Trump said he was going to do no taxes on Social Security. And that proposal went in flames. He changed his mind about it. And now he's replacing it with a $4,000 tax credit. So now that is what he's proposing. That is what he can get behind with Congress. That's what he thinks he can pass in Congress. So what does that mean for you? Well, every senior can get $4,000 annual deductible if you're 65 plus. And it phases out if you make more than $75,000 as a single filer or $150,000 as a joint filer. Why is that important? Well, wealthy retirees will get the least, and people who are in the low income bracket will get the most. So it is $480 on average for the wealthy retirees versus $1,356 for people who are in the low income bracket. Critics argue that the deduction is a fraction of the campaign promise President Trump made, because if he had done what he said he was going to do, which is eliminate taxes on Social Security, that was going to be more impactful. That was going to help more people than this tax credit, because with a tax credit, if you are in a lower tax bracket and you don't pay a lot of taxes, this is not going to help you. So this is one of the things that the president nonetheless can get behind and help seniors put real money in their pocket. The fourth proposal is payroll tax increase. Currently, Social Security is funded through a 6.2% employee tax and 6.2% employer tax. If you are self-employed, you are required to pay the entire 12.4%. Well, the idea to bring in more money into the Social Security system and save Social Security for a longer period and avoid cutting Social Security by 25% in 2033, this is going to help solve that by increasing the payroll tax from 6.2% to 6.5% for a total of 13% over a 6-year period. It has huge political support, 85% of Republicans, 88% of Democrats, and it affects all wage earners. Everybody gets impacted by this, so it becomes a fairer way of fixing the Social Security system for seniors. Proposal number 5, which I think is the best proposal when it comes to fixing Social Security for the long haul, is by removing the Social Security income cap. Currently, as I mentioned, if you make $176,100, you pay Social Security taxes. Anything above that, you don't. This will eliminate that and put more people in that bracket, and also catch people who try to avoid Social Security taxes with other sources of income. This will apply to all income, and it will save Social Security for 75 years and only affect the highest 4% of income earners. And that is a small percentage of people that are going to be impacted. And the benefit is going to be humongous, because it's going to be 75 years to extend the lifespan of Social Security and avoid the cuts that are coming. So in my opinion, this is the best. You let me know which one you think is the best solution. This is proposal number 5, removing the cap so that somebody who makes $1 million pays $1 million taxes on the $1 million, Social Security taxes. If they made $500 million, they pay Social Security taxes on $500 million. Currently, let's say somebody makes $10 million a year, they only pay Social Security taxes on $176,100, which is what is robbing the Social Security Trust Fund of needed money that could help extend the lifespan of the trust fund. And there is math behind this. If somebody is making $500,000 and they even put a limit at $400,000 and above, that person will be paying $31,000 in Social Security taxes versus $10,000 that they would have paid last year. So they'll be paying 3 times Social Security taxes if the cap is moved even to $400,000. So there's a big opportunity to save Social Security by fixing the cap. Proposal number 6 is means testing, meaning that Social Security benefits will not be determined by how much you paid into the system, but it will be determined by how much money you make. So if you're a senior and you're in the high income category, you get less benefits. If you're a senior and you're in the low income category, you get more Social Security benefits. And that is what means testing is going to do. How much money do you have currently before you apply for Social Security determines basically your income bracket determines how much benefits you get. This is a very popular proposal. 90% of Republicans support it. 94% of Democrats are behind it. But it's also the most controversial. It will affect the top 20% of income earners. And it may feel like it is not fair because people have paid into the system and they should get what they paid into the system. But this is one way of balancing things out. Proposal number 7 is probably the most controversial. It's basically aimed to slow down how much money is coming out of the Social Security Trust Fund by raising the retirement age from 67 to 69. Why is that important? Well, it will solve the problem. 30% of the projected shortfall will be solved by this problem, because if you slow down how much when people can claim full retirement, where they are entitled to all the money they've paid into the system, then you slowly slow down how much money is coming out of the system. It's as simple as that. The proposal would disproportionately, however, affect lower income workers who often have shorter life expectancies. So asking them to wait till 69 to claim their full retirement benefits is an unfair proposal to low income earners. So let me know, which one do you like and which one do you dislike? Comment below in the comment section. And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to take it a step further and talk about 10 things that the president can do to really help seniors in 2025. The first one is, let's look at the economic power of seniors and why this is important. Seniors contributed to the president's election. 74% of them voted, and they voted by almost a little over 50% for the president. And seniors contribute 61 cents of every dollar that is spent in the United States. In addition, they contribute $745 billion annually through unpaid caregiving and volunteer work. So they are an economic force, and there is things that can be done to protect seniors. The first one is protecting Social Security, eliminating the federal taxes on Social Security, which the president promised and changed his mind about, making sure that COLA increases are not just the 2.5% we've been seeing, but more around 6%, investigating fraud within Social Security, and raising the income threshold, which I mentioned before, is one of the strategies that could really help protect Social Security for seniors. Another thing the president can do is expand Medicare coverage. Prescription drugs remains one of the things that crushes seniors. The average senior is spending $4,096 annually in out-of-pocket costs. This can be helped by Congress expanding the $35 a month insulin cap to include other medications, and long-term care supports. Over 75% of Americans age 65 will need some long-term care, but Medicare does not cover it. So including limited long-term care coverage in Medicare Advantage plans will be a way to help with this problem. And then cap out-of-pocket costs. Seniors pay on average about $300,000 actually as a couple over their retirement period on out-of-pocket medical expenses, which is $150,000 per senior during their retirement. So the proposal is to cap out-of-pocket costs to $5,000 annually. It means that you would not pay any more than $5,000 out-of-pocket costs in total for Medicare expenses. Next, you've been hearing all about the cuts to Medicaid. Well, they're about to take $800 billion out of Medicaid, which is going to affect seniors a lot more than anybody else or any other group, because 62% of seniors in nursing homes have their bills paid by Medicaid, and 82% of seniors prefer to age at home. But funding for home-based care is very limited. So there could be an increase in supporting seniors to age in place, and only seniors that make less than $2,742 a month qualify for Medicaid long-term care. So a lot of seniors do not qualify. By reducing that threshold, it allows more seniors to qualify for Medicaid. And as I mentioned, 62% of all nursing home care is paid for by Medicaid. And then there's housing challenges that seniors face. Affordable housing. Nearly 10 million seniors spend over 30% of their income on housing. This is where Congress can help by supporting seniors with rental assistance programs and promoting aging in place initiatives like home modification ramps, grab bars that cost about $2,500 but can prevent about $50 billion in medical expenses that come from seniors falling. The next place Congress can really help and the president can support is reducing health inequities. 20% of seniors live more than 30 miles from a hospital. So if something happens, some of them are put in situations that are very dangerous to their health. Nearly 3 million people are eligible for senior care through Medicaid but are not enrolled. So making the application process for Medicaid less cumbersome is another area that the president can support seniors. 1 in 4 seniors struggle with mental health issues, yet only 3% of Medicare spending goes towards behavioral health services. Well, if seniors are struggling with mental health, 1 in 4, and we're only spending 3% of Medicare on mental health, there is a big disconnect there. And this is where Congress can really support seniors this year in ensuring a healthy mental health initiative that can help support them. Another area that has been controversial and problematic is drug prices. $78 billion is what seniors spend out of pocket to cover prescription drugs. And that could mean the difference between affording food, housing, etc. So one of the things Congress can do and the president can support is avoiding surprise prescription drug bills, averaging $750 per incident per hospital visit, and implementing a $2,000 annual out-of-pocket cap for Part D beneficiaries will protect seniors from hardships associated with illness. Improving long-term care facilities. 41 million Americans provide unpaid caregiving to adults, and that is a big strain. That is saving the government $470 billion annually. There's a shortage of elder care workers that is projected to hit 1 million by 2030. This is an area that Congress can incentivize people to become caregivers for seniors and even paying family members to do that, which will save the government money but provide better care and also improve the mental health of seniors when you have a family member caring for you in your old age versus a stranger. That is proven to really help seniors age in place with dignity and with peace of mind, knowing that they have somebody they care about, that cares about them, that is caring for them. And then the president could also help boost retirement savings, raising the IRA contribution to $10,000 from $7,500. Only half of private sector workers have access to retirement plans. And so seniors get to age 65 and over and realize that they don't have enough saved for the long retirement that some of them now have to live through, because retirement is getting longer and longer. No longer is it a 10-year thing. And now people are living 20 years into retirement, it's 25 years. And so how do you survive that if there are no accessible ways for you to save money for retirement? So this is one way for the president to do that by boosting IRA contributions to $10,000 annually. And then finally, combating elder abuse, putting in place policies that will protect seniors from abuse. Because here's the thing, 1 in 10 Americans over age 60 experience elder abuse, but only a third of those are reported. And part of it is people are afraid of retaliation against their loved ones in certain facilities, and so they don't report it. Making it easy for this to happen and taking care of, where there is an open process for you to be able to report this, is going to help protect a lot of seniors from harm and danger. And then finally, enhancing community support. making sure that there are age-friendly communities. When communities are designed for seniors, that they are friendly so that they improve interaction and reduce isolation. A lot of seniors are alone and they don't have a support network that can help them. So mobilizing volunteers through the Retired Senior Volunteer Program helps address critical needs such as companionship and transportation needs for isolated seniors. These are all big steps that are really practical and something that Congress has the power and the president can support to make happen. So I hope that this has been helpful to you. Let me know what you think of obviously protecting seniors from DOGE, which is still ongoing, helping protect senior benefits, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps from DOGE cuts will also be a huge source of relief for seniors. So let me know what you think. Which of these do you think should be priority? And which do you have additional things that you think can be done this year? We're not talking next year. We're not talking 3 years from now. What can be done this year realistically to support seniors in putting money into their pocket, making their lives easy? I want to hear from you in the comment section below. And finally, let's talk about Medicare. This is a review that came from one of the people referred to Chapter Medicare, our partner, that if you read, you realize that indeed what I keep saying for about a couple of months now, that Chapter is the real deal. These guys are there as advocates for you. If you're turning 65 or are currently in a Medicare program and you're not happy with it, call these guys. Call 539-205-2147 or go to askchapter.org/insider. Fill out a form and they'll reach out to you. So why should you call Chapter? Well, when you call them, they're going to provide you detailed information about all the Medicare options that are available to you in your local area, which doctors, specialists, prescription drugs, hospitals are covered, what the copays cost, and help you compare that plan to traditional Medicare. Organizations that are in this space, some of them can be very, very dubious. The Trump administration just sued a whole bunch of them because they were misleading seniors. Chapter is the opposite of that. They want to help you. They want to be in your corner. They want to be your advocate in helping you pick the Medicare plan that suits you the best. And that's why they go out of their way to explain everything to you and help you compare it to traditional Medicare so they can make an informed choice for yourself. They're highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, A+ rating. They can save you $1,100 a year on average. Call these guys today. It's a no-brainer. And finally, if you're not on our email list, go to the top of our YouTube channel, sign up, and be on our insider list. Why is that important? Why should you care? Why should you want to receive an email from us? Well, it is loaded with goodies, discounts, senior benefits, anything that is breaking news that you should care about that can affect your benefits. We bring it to you via email, or go to benefitsinsider.co/subscribe and sign up today. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions at all, hit me in the comments and I'll be happy